Okay, we have designed this program for those graduates who have done Pharm-D or MBA, or who are science graduates, that they have done MSc in biochemistry or a health medical in MBA, and they want to become a product manager. This idea came into my mind because a lot of people used to contact me, or they continue to contact me on LinkedIn, that I want to become a product manager. I'm fresh from the graduate. I have done MBA, or I have done MBA and spent 1 year in sales, and now I want to become a product manager. So for those, I try to guide them on LinkedIn, on phone, on chat, but ultimately it's not possible for me to spare time for everyone. So I thought that this is an area where youngster needs guidance. They don't only need to know that how product management works, but they also need to be guided that how they should prepare, how they should approach the company. Currently, a lot of only graduates are coming, but number of opportunities in pharmaceutical are probably not that much. Please go to the next slide. Please hold on for a while.
ਤੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਸੰਗੀ ਕੋਲ ਰਖਵਾ ਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਉਹੀ ਕੈਟ ਕੇ ਨੀਚੇ ਉਹ ਤੇ ਲੱਸੀ
Okay, so let's start from introduction. My name is Fayad Ahmed. I have served pharmaceutical industry for about 23 years, and I started my career with Abbott Laboratories. Later, I was in AGP Private Limited for about 9 years, and then Martindorf for about 5 years. I worked in direct sales, sales management, and then I became product manager, then senior product manager, business manager, business manager. So I have managed sales and marketing, direct sales, sales management, and marketing. So that's why I have a better idea, and I can help those who are especially youngsters or who are currently in product management to brush up their skills. Okay. So what is the role of a product manager's role? Starts from the product's consumption. You conceive any idea, or you conceive a product that this molecule, this product will be launched in local industry. From there, a product manager will start. Nowadays, product managers are also responsible for suggesting new molecules, which are the new molecules which the company can launch and which can grow, or which can serve the community in a better way. Then what should that product look like? What should be the price in comparison to the products that are already available? Latest features, then how much premium price you can charge on that, and then making a complete marketing on brand. Brand plan is an annual document which starts from forecasting, and forecasting the complete detail that what is the executive summary, what are the data analysis, what are the inferences that you have adapted from the data. Then according to that data, market analysis, situation analysis, you make a strategy, and that how this product will be marketed, how this product will be branded, and then it continues to technical plan, campaigns, and goes up to the financials, that how much sale will do and how much spend on that. Marketing plan is the creating brand plan, or creating a successful, efficient brand plan is the basic core job of a product manager. Rest of everything, promotional campaigns, sector plan, and then customer and customer's relationship with the brand of the segregation loyalty. For the segregation loyalty, ये जो कस्टमर की ब्रांड के साथ ताल्लुक है वो कैसा होगा, कंज्यूमर मार्केटिंग खासतौर पे इसका बहुत ज्यादा रोल होता है. But again, in pharmaceutical marketing, इसका बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट रोल है कि आपका जो कस्टमर है वो अपने प्रोडक्ट के साथ टैग फील करे. अच्छा, you will be noticing that I am using two words. One is customer and the other one is consumer. So these are the two words which I will be using frequently. You know that in consumer marketing, your customer is your consumer most of the time. For example, if a lady is buying toothpaste, then she may also be a user of that toothpaste to use the. Lekin in your case, in pharmaceutical industry, the products are liked, chosen, and prescribed by the doctors, whereas it's used by the patient. So the customer and consumer are two different. That is something that you have to keep in mind. Go to the next slide. The role of a product manager is to create a sustainable competitive advantage and to improve the perceived value of sustainable competitive advantage of your product against competition and in the mind of customer, and improve the perceived value of a product in the mind of customer as well as consumer. This when a product becomes brand, becomes liked, preferred, then its price grow and loyalty of customer and consumers grow. This product can be service and other things. And then customers' expectations and satisfaction with the product is also the responsibility of a brand, right? यहाँ पे एक चीज आपको इम्पोर्टेंट है जो कि जहन में रखनी है, वो ये कि when you are in certain cases the company name endorses the brand, and in certain cases the brand name of the product endorses the company. एग्जाम्पल ये लीजिए कि आप में से कितने लोग नेस्ले का जो पानी आता है वो यूज करते हैं. हैंड्स रेज करें, मैं देखूं कितने हैंड्स रेज होते हैं. कितने लोगों ने अपनी लाइफ में कभी ना कभी नेस्ले का पानी पिया? कितने हैंड रेज्ड हैं नेस्ले का पानी जिन्होंने पिया? ओके, आप चैट के अंदर मुझे ये बताइए. अगेन हैंड, प्लीज लोअर योर हैंड, लोअर योर हैंड्स. ओके, अब वो लोग बताएं जिनको नेस्ले के पानी का, नेस्ले के मिनरल वाटर का ब्रांड नेम पता है. वो लोग हैंड रेज करें जिनको, नेस्ले तो कंपनी का नाम है, ये जो वाटर है, जो प्रोडक्ट है, जैसे गालिबन पेप्सी का जो ब्रांड नेम है वाटर का वो एक्वाफिना है. तो नेस्ले का जो वाटर है इसका नाम क्या है, ब्रांड नेम क्या है, कितने लोगों को पता है? ओके, चैट में बताइए कि क्या नाम है नेस्ले का. नेस्ले, इसका ब्रांड नेम नेस्ले नहीं है, इसका ब्रांड नेम कुछ और है. चैट में टाइप कीजिए क्या है इसका ब्रांड नेम. प्योर लाइफ. बिल्कुल आमिर मंजूर, बिल्कुल आप ठीक कह रहे हैं. तो आप खुद अंदाजा लगाइए कि हम में से बहुत कम लोग हैं जिनको ये पता है कि इसका जो प्योर लाइफ नाम है. लेकिन इसका कॉमन नाम क्या है? नेस्ले का पानी. जबकि जब हम एक्वाफिना मांगते हैं तो हम कहते हैं एक्वाफिना, या जब हम दोसानी मांगते हैं तो हम दोसानी के नाम से. लेकिन जब हम नेस्ले का पानी मांगते हैं तो नेस्ले का पानी. प्योर लाइफ दे दो, बहुत कम लोग कहते हैं. क्योंकि एक दफा मैंने ट्राई किया कि मैंने शॉपकीपर से कहा कि मुझे प्योर लाइफ का वाटर ऑफ प्योर लाइफ, मैंने कहा सर वो नहीं है हमारा. मैंने कहा नेस्ले का दे दे फिर. तो ही गेव मी दैट. सो अल्टीमेटली लॉट ऑफ, बिकॉज वहां पे जो डोमिनेंट ब्रांड है दैट इज नेस्ले. अब अगेन नेस्ले की एक और प्रोडक्ट मैं आपसे शेयर करता हूँ, किटकैट. ठीक है, अगेन इसका आप अंदाजा इससे भी लगाते हैं कि अगर आप नेस्ले की बोतल पे देखें तो नेस्ले बड़ा बड़ा लिखा हुआ है और प्योर लाइफ छोटा सा लिखा है, बिकॉज डोमिनेंट ब्रांड इज नेस्ले. जबकि अगर आप इसके बरक्स किटकैट की सूरत में देखें तो किटकैट बाय इटसेल्फ एक बहुत बड़ा ब्रांड नेम है, और ये बहुत बड़ा ब्रांड नेम नेस्ले के पास प्रोडक्ट के आने से पहले से. KitKat was not the brand of Nestle initially, but it was purchased by Nestle. And when Nestle The company only changed at the back, और जो नेस्ले का नाम है वो बहुत छोटा है. Go to the next slide. अच्छा, यहाँ तक मैंने थोड़ा सा बिल्कुल एक सरसरी सा I have just shared with you के ब्रांड मैनेजर्स का रोल क्या होता है, बेसिक रोल क्या होता है. ठीक है. वो ब्रांड की यानी कि कंसेप्शन से लेके ब्रांड की कंसेप्शन, उसकी डेवलपमेंट, उसकी लुक कैसी होगी, उसकी पैकेजिंग कैसी होगी, उसकी प्राइस क्या होगी, उसकी मार्केटिंग स्ट्रेटजी क्या होगी, और अगेन कोर वैल्यू, उस ब्रांड की कोर वैल्यू क्या है, हाउ इट विल बी परसीव्ड बाय अ कस्टमर. ठीक है. किसी भी प्रोडक्ट की जो परसेप्शन है वो कस्टमर के माइंड में कैसी बनती है, इसको हम ब्रांड लैडर भी कहते हैं या माइंड लैडर भी कहते हैं. फॉर एग्जांपल, अगर हम ध्यान में लाएं कि जब लास्ट हम सुपर मार्केट में गए थे, टूथपेस्ट लेने गए, तो एक टूथपेस्ट का नाम यूजुअली हमारे जहन में पहले से होता है. फॉर एग्जांपल, हम अगर कोलगेट लेके जा रहे हैं तो व्हाट वी विल से ओके कोलगेट कहाँ है. बल्कि कई दफा जो रेगुलर कस्टमर्स हैं उनको तो शेल्फ का भी पता होता है कि जो कोलगेट है या कोलगेट हर्बल है जो पर्टिकुलर ब्रांड में यूज करते हैं वो किस शेल्फ में मौजूद होगा. यू नो द शेल्फ एग्जैक्टली. और उसके अलावा भी आसपास की शेल्फ में गालिबन 25 या 30 टूथपेस्ट के ब्रांड और पड़े होते हैं, लेकिन बहुत मर्तबा हम उनको दिखते भी. अगेन हमें पता कब चलता है, लेट्स कंसीडर कि आप गए और सुपरमार्केट में गए और आप जो है वो कोलगेट हर्बल यूज करते हैं, वो नहीं मिल रहा, या कोलगेट ब्रांड ही वहां पर मौजूद नहीं है. तो आप किसी स्टोर के नुमाइंदे को बुलाते हैं एंड देन यू आस्क हिम I cannot find Colgate here. And he tells you that Colgate is short. It's not being supplied from 30 days to any reason. Now you start searching, okay, I need a toothpaste anyhow, so which is the second brand I can buy. Then again, in most of the time, you also have a second brand name. You will ask, okay, do you have a close-up? Do you have close-up? Do you have Medicam? Or do you have Sensodyne? There are these are like the second name came in your mind is on number 2 in the letter, then the third name, then the fourth name, then the fifth name. So likewise, डॉक्टर्स के पास भी जब उस मॉलिक्यूल को प्रिस्क्राइब करते हैं या किसी पर्टिकुलर इंडिकेशन को देखते हैं, फॉर एग्जांपल कि वो जो है लेट्स कंसीडर रेस्पिरेटरी इन्फेक्शन को ट्रीट करने जाने, तो उस रेस्पिरेटरी इन्फेक्शन को ट्रीट करने के लिए एक से ज्यादा मॉलिक्यूल्स हैं वो यूज हो सकते हैं. फॉर एग्जांपल, इफ इट्स रेस्पिरेटरी इन्फेक्शन पेशेंट, then the patient can be prescribed clarithromycin, the patient can be prescribed cefaclor, the patient can be prescribed cefaclor. So there are different molecules which can be prescribed to a patient. Fine. तो ये कुछ मेन चीजें हैं जो एक. अच्छा, अगेन देन फिर आप देखते हैं कि आपका ब्रांड इतना पॉपुलर हो जाता है कि आपको एंडोर्समेंट मिलने लगती है. Even the senior doctors in their classes, like those who are associated with medical colleges, who are training the house officers, what they do, they endorse, like when their juniors are there in the round with them, so they guide them to prescribe the patient cefaclor, prescribe the patient augmentin brand. So those brands get endorsed, they get word of mouth of consultants, and ultimately junior doctors adapt them. Please go to the next slide. Okay, as I shared earlier, that the brand can be corporate, surface, service, or product. Making corporate a brand is also the responsibility of a brand manager. And let me share a couple of examples with you. That let's consider that a new candy launched by Hilal or a new candy launched by Nestle. Will you like a new flavor? You will try that. Like when you see the ad, you go on the shop, you try that. There are chances that you will try it. But if the shop there's a candy or there's a chocolate in the market from ABC Sweets, and you don't know what ABC Sweets is or what equity of this company, so ultimately you will not be tended. You will say that it can be good quality candy, it can be bad quality candy. But once a corporate brand name establishes, the product launched by this corporate gets more success. Again, like a pharmaceutical products launched by GSK, products launched by Gates, products launched by Hilton, products launched by leading companies. I'm not taking every name. Searle, Sami, Nectar. These are the leading companies. When they Martin Law, AGP, That these leading companies, when they launch a product, so there are higher chances of success versus launched by a less known company. So what the product manager has to do? The product manager has to create value for the brand through the services the team is providing, academic services, promotional services, marketing services, and then uh, the brand manager should design a strategy where the sales force can convince a suspect. A suspect is the one who may or may not buy your product. A prospect is who is definitely, who can be definitely the customer of your uh, like he or she may be prescribing your product or may not be prescribing your product, but he or she has the potential or ability to prescribe your product. Then, when you do efforts and he starts prescribing, he starts buying, prescribing your product for the first time, then he becomes a buyer. So, I'll try to speak louder. Is it clear now? Is the voice clear? Can you hear me clearly now? Okay. So first time when a customer buy your product, then that customer becomes your buyer. And then after trying it, if the customer becomes satisfied, you can, if the customer gets satisfied, then ultimately again buy, or she again buys. She repeats the purchase, he repeats the purchase. He prescribes again, and he starts continuously prescribing the product, which means now he or she has become your customer. He or she is satisfied with the product, or maybe delighted. When the customer will be delighted, they will start doing brand advocacy. Like if you're using something which is giving very good results, but you share it with your friends. I have tried this thing. This is giving very good results. I have attended this session. This is very beneficial. You should also try it. I have bought this. I have eaten from this particular restaurant, and this is having a wonderful food. You should also try. What happens when you get satisfied with the service and the taste of the food? You start advocating without being paid. You start advocating. So in this way, you can develop brand advocates. When they start using product, they repeat it, and then they become satisfied. Right? Okay. So as most of you are fresh graduates, fresh MBA graduates, or fresh Pharm-D graduates, you must have developed a resume, and you may have already applied for internship in some companies, and you may have applied. You may have applied in company for internship. You may have applied for management training, and you may have applied for assistant product manager job. So definitely, you all should be must be having a resume. So there is always a particular template of the CV that you most of the time use from. So the templates available on net are sometimes recommended by some people or not recommended by some people or just advertised by the website. So try to use simple forms which are not very complicated. That certain information are given in another box, certain information are given in highlighted box, and then certain information are given in different color. So ultimately these distract. Try to use a simple, plain, professional template which is telling about you, your name, address, contact number, email ID in the beginning, and then if you're not having much experience, then you should highlight your objective. And if you are having some experiences, then it should summarize your total experience. Then it should start with the latest experience, the last experience you have, and then go backwards, like your current experience, the experience before that, and yeah, I'll highlight about that. After template, you should highlight summary and objective. Okay. Again, before going towards stats and figures, objectives. Most of the people write an objective in the beginning of the. Let me just again have a survey or just see that how many people have done it. How many people have written the word "I want to learn"? I want to learn from your prestigious organization. I want to learn from your big organization or professional organization. Yes, there's a suggestion written in the chat that I should put up a presentation on brand plan. The complete session, which is starting from coming Sunday, total 5 classes, that is having a detailed presentation and how to make a brand. So that will be covered here. So how many people have used the word, I want to learn, I want to upgrade my knowledge in your CV? Please raise your hands. Total duration is another half hour. ओके, देखिए बात ये है कि आप एक लम्हे को सोचिए कि आपको अपने घर में, अगेन एग्जांपल को पर्सनल कोई भी ना ले, जैसे समझाने के लिए बता कि आपको अपने घर में एक ड्राइवर है और आप ऐड देते हैं कि आई नीड अ ड्राइवर, क्योंकि मोस्ट ऑफ द लोग ये भी कहते हैं कि यार, लोग कहते हैं कि एक्सपीरियंस लाओ, अब हम फ्रेश हैं तो एक्सपीरियंस कहाँ से लेकर आएंगे, बट अल्टीमेटली कुछ बेसिक्स का पता होना कितना जरूरी है। तो आप ऐड देते हैं कि आई वांट अ शोफर, मेरे घर में एक ड्राइवर है, और आपके पास कुछ लोग कॉन्टेक्ट करते हैं, उनसे एक साहब कहते हैं कि मैं 10 साल से गाड़ी चला रहा हूँ, पिछले 2 जगह जहाँ मैंने गाड़ी चलाई है उनके नंबर हैं, ताकि आप फीडबैक ले सकें, कि मैं गाड़ी कैसी चलाता हूँ, मैं बहुत कम मरतबा एक्सीडेंट्स जो हैं वो, मेरे एक्सीडेंट बहुत कम होते हैं, और या मैं जो है वो रैश ड्राइविंग नहीं करता, आप लोगों को फीडबैक ले लें, मेरा 10 साल का एक्सपीरियंस है। अदर ड्राइवर टेल यू के 2 साल का एक्सपीरियंस है। तीसरा ड्राइवर आपको बताता है कि मैं अभी ड्राइविंग सीख रहा हूँ, मैंने ग्राउंड में तो चलाई है, लेकिन आई एम हियर टू लर्न ड्राइविंग बाय गेटिंग जॉब इन योर कंपनी। मैं आपकी गाड़ी पे सीखूंगा और फिर आपकी गाड़ी चलाऊंगा। तो हाउ मेनी चांसेस आर देयर कि हमको जॉब, तो हमें भी ये सोचना चाहिए ना कि यार, अगर इस बंदे को हम जॉब ही नहीं देंगे, इस बेचारे के पास गाड़ी भी नहीं है, तो कहाँ सीखेगा? आए पहले हमारी गाड़ी पे सीखे, कभी हम ऐसा करेंगे? कभी नहीं करेंगे, क्योंकि हम नहीं चाहते कि वो हमारी फैमिली के लिए अनसेफ बने। बिग डो है तो आई हैव नो। कैन यू हियर नाउ क्लियरली? अब क्लियर है आवाज? ठीक है, इज इट क्लियर नाउ? ओके,
यस
तो
सर।
हम कभी भी इस तरह से, अगर हमारे घर में कोई कुक आए और वो कहे कि मैं खाना पकाना सीख रहा हूँ, तो आप मुझे चांस देंगे तो मैं आपके किचन में आऊंगा, और फिर उसके बाद मैं प्रॉपरली जो है वो खाना बनाना शुरू करूँ। तो अल्टीमेटली आपको जॉब नहीं देंगे, बिकॉज यू वोंट लाइक कि वो आपके फूड को रुइन करे और उसके साथ जो है वो आपके पास लर्न करे। तो इसीलिए बजाय इसके, आपने अब तक जो भी एक्सपीरियंस गेन किया है, ऐसा नहीं आपने इंटर्नशिप की होंगी, वहाँ कुछ एक्सपीरियंस गेन किया होगा, डू राइट अबाउट दैट। आपने जो है वो अपने बहुत से प्रोजेक्ट्स यूनिवर्सिटी के साथ किए होंगे, किसी किसी क्लब का मेंबर होंगे, तो वहाँ पर जो कुछ भी आपने अच्छा किया है उसको जरूर बयान करें, ताकि पता चले कि आपको जो प्रोजेक्ट्स मिलते हैं वो आप एफिशिएंटली कर सकते हैं। नॉट अल्टीमेटली योर फर्स्ट। स्टैट्स एंड फिगर्स का जो लिखा हुआ है, ये उन लोगों की, इसका स्पेशली रोल तब ज्यादा है जो आपका एक्सपीरियंस बढ़ता जाता है। आप स्टैट्स एंड फिगर मेंशन करते हैं, लाइक आई अचीव 100% फॉर कंसेक्यूटिवली 3 years 4 years, और द ब्रांड्स आई promoted double digit growth, we increased market share by 2%. So figures and stats जो हैं, they always in those, or they always are bold line news. But then again, आपको साथ साथ अपनी शार्पन करनी है स्किल्स को। Although you are not a product manager now, but you should know, जैसे आपके सेशन अटेंड करने हैं, अपना वक्त निकालना, आपने आपको वक्त इन्वेस्ट करनी है। आप इसके बाद जो चीजें, जो वर्ड्स यहाँ पे देख रहे हैं, वो गूगल पे स्टडी कीजिए, उनको बुक्स में स्टडी कीजिए कि ब्रांड प्लान क्या है, ब्रांड प्लान के इंग्रेडिएंट्स क्या हैं, फोरकास्टिंग कैसे करते हैं, कैंपेन्स कैसे बनाते हैं, प्रोडक्ट डिजाइनिंग में किस बात का ख्याल रखना चाहिए, प्राइसिंग की कितनी स्ट्रेटजी, बोल दो कि हमें प्राइसिंग की स्ट्रेटजी और ये तमाम चीजें आने वाले, लेकिन ये है कि इवन देन उसके साथ साथ व्हेन यू कम अक्रॉस एनी न्यू jargon, try to learn about it. And if you have done something good which is posted, which is there on LinkedIn, which is there on Facebook, which is there on YouTube. You may share a link of it, and then keep your education session simple. If there are very something extraordinary like gold medalist, position holder, you can mention that, but keep that area simple, and then keep it short. Especially if you are new, it should be single page. And if you are experienced, no matter how much experience, I have experience of 23 years, but my CV comprises of 2 pages. It should not be more than 2 pages. You always write more about your latest job, and then you start gradually. You start you highlight your education, then your highlight your experience, then education, and after that your other skills, certificates, trainings, and then you go to the next slide. Coming towards interview, again, interview is a detailed subject, and we will be covering the interview in our complete 5 class session. हम उसमें ना सिर्फ ये है कि इंटरव्यू में कॉमनली क्वेश्चंस क्या पूछे जाते हैं, आंसर कैसे देना है, उसको डिस्कस करेंगे. But we will also discuss that what preparation you should do for the interview if you're going for it. Ultimately, when you brush up your skills, when you will study things, these all will help you to answer the question. Brand manager or management. And then when you study these things, try to grasp things from that. Think a lot on the creativity. Those things which you study and you think that those can be presented or done in a more efficient way. So do share your initiatives, but be yourself. Don't try to copy anyone. If you have seen, for example, you have seen how to give an interview or the videos on YouTube, or you have seen me speaking or seen someone else speaking. So don't try to be that person. Be yourself. Be relaxed and try to present whatever you know in the most efficient. Okay, so we'll discuss interview in detail, and then for those people who will be making best brand plans, I'll be selecting some of those brand plans to be discussed in the class. And again, I'll select a couple of people for mock interview. That we'll be doing mock interview with those, and the other can observe that how the interview will be taken and given, and then you can ask questions. Okay, so a very like lot of interviews take this time, like a lot of time taken in the interview for discussing new product. Because why interviewers discuss new product more, or why new product is important for a product manager? Because here you start from the scratches. It's for example, if you are being appointed as a product manager for a product which has been launched 10 years back, so ultimately a lot of work is being done, a lot of equity is being built, a lot of hard work is being done on that, and you are that's a moving wheel, and you have to just keep it. Whereas when you launch a new product, so it's an inertia. You have to break the inertia, you have to make it moving, and then you have to make it moving fast. So ultimately, before launching a product, you may have to do a lot of research work, that which is the area where the vacuum, where should I launch a new product. In pharmaceutical, it is easy in a way that new research is coming on a continuous basis. For example, there were products for the treatment of myocardial infarction, or to manage the blood pressure, to control the diabetes. But in the presence of those products, more products, which are doing it more efficiently, which are doing it more cost effectively, or which are doing it with least side effects. So this research helps you select the product which you can launch in any particular market. Besides this, you can also evaluate for the market to know that secondary and primary both kind of marketing research available in we have IQVIA data which tells us about what percentage market is growing, with what percentage each product is growing, and with what percentage in particular molecule is growing. We also cover IMS, or data analysis, IQVIA data analysis in our presentation. Then development of product, that if you can add any special feature which can result in USP, you can have any unique selling proposition which will make your product stand out among other products. This helps a lot. If any product is having any special feature, ultimately it gets caught and ultimately it gets booked. For example, when Colgate come for the first time, so before that we were using toothpaste with cap, a screw cap, but Colgate was first with a tip cap. So ultimately, it was easy to open and close and use. And most of the time, when you're brushing the toothpaste, which have a separate screw cap, it falls down and becomes dirty. So ultimately, that was the USP of Colgate in other things. Okay. Then manufacturing, if you have any special features in your production, then you can utilize that and highlight that in manufacturing. That can be any specific with the sales force. If you will not train the sales force properly, they will not be able to carry that message. Maybe that your campaign is excellent, but until the right message is being carried out to the right customer, the results won't. That's why efficient training of field force on medical, on product knowledge, on selling skills is very important. And then your own technical skills, how efficient you are in making the campaign, how efficient you are in that analysis, how efficient you are in forecast and other things. Next slide, please. Okay, so the new product launch has three phases. The first is pre-launch, in which you are evaluating that which product should be launched, selecting the product, getting its feasibility approved, that in selling price, like its selling price, what is its selling price, the total volume it will gain in first 3 years or first 5 years. In first year, how much promotional expense you will need to promote this product, and then how much profits this will bring for the company, how it will serve the people, how it will serve the community and patients. So that is the time when you decide, when you decide that we have to launch the product, then it dossier need to be by business development, but in coordination with brand management. Submitted, it's been listed in draft, and draft gives you approval to launch this product, and that's when you start marketing pre-launch, which include that most of the time you start the teaser. You must have seen this teaser activity in consumer market as well, that there are coming soon boards, there are advertisements where the key message is just highlighted, but product is not being shown. If I remember exactly, जो शान की तेज लाल है शान ने लॉन्च की, तो उसका जो टीजर था, प्री लॉन्च स्लोगन था, जो होर्डिंग्स पे लगा हुआ था, वो था ये लाल नहीं तेज लाल. Like you were always guessing, ये लाल नहीं तेज लाल है, ये क्या प्रोडक्ट? And then it was शान तेज लाल. The pre-launch activity creates a hype in the market. If there is some unique feature, you can highlight that this is an unaddressed need of your patients or unaddressed need of the doctor, which need to be, which our product is coming product will address. Then you also start preparing your field force, you do their training, you try to equip them with the proper product knowledge, selling skills, the promotional material, utilization of promotional material, how they have to utilize them, you train them before launch, and then when you launch it, awareness is being, its need is being created in the market, it's coming, this awareness is being created, the team is well trained, then a marvelous launch meeting can help you launch the product. So that is the time when you create the buzz, when you enter with the bang. So the launch meeting should be excellent. If you have met all the parameters, like for example, availability, is it available on the medical stores? Like you do a wonderful launch, but you have not coordinated well with the supply chain, you have not coordinated well with the distribution team. So the areas where you have planned to market, the areas where you have targeted it, its availability should be there in advance. So when the doctor prescribes your product, the patient should get it. Because if the patient comes and tells the doctor that this product is not available, then ultimately next time he or she will be resistant to prescribe it. And then post-launch, you have to see that from which area the results are coming, which area needs your extra support, or which is the area where your strategy is being executed efficiently. Another important thing for product manager is that most of the time when we idea and we make this idea, we have in our mind that this wonderful idea, this will do wonders in the market. And when it's executed, sometimes the results are very good. But when results are not good, first thing is that you evaluate if the sales team is executing the idea properly. That is the reason why product manager needs to go in the field very frequently. One, to evaluate how what competitors are doing. Secondly, most of the time, people who are already experienced product manager, I've heard them saying that हम market में check करने जाते हैं. Don't go just to check, to see what others are doing. How efficiently my campaign is being executed. Did I train the team well? They are executing the way I conceived it, the way I prepared it, or not? Or no, they need a training, they need a follow. And sometimes they are executing it marvelously, but the results are not. That's the time when you have to have a big heart and to accept that there is flaw in the campaign, there is a flaw in the strategy, there is a flaw in the tactical plan, and that need to be modified or changed. So post-launch, you have to evaluate how things are doing and how results are coming, whether results are as per expectations. If the results are not coming, so these are lack of execution or lack of in the plan. So those are the things when you gauge results. Please go to the next slide. Next slide. Okay, data analysis. Data analysis is another important area which product manager are engaged on daily basis. Not only for the product which they have to launch, like not only for the new launches, but also for the products which they are marketing. You have to see like if I'm growing by 20%, what percentage market is growing? Market is growing by like 15%, and then you are growing by 20%. That's good. That you are growing faster than market. Then again, it depends on volume. For example, in form of supplier, maybe 60 or 70% share is augmented. And if you're having this 5% share and you're growing this 5% ahead of market, you're not the volume is very small. You may have to go faster. So that data is analysis, the inferences you drive from that, and ultimately after analyzing that, how you make strategies. So this data, having data, developing it in proper shape, and then evaluating and driving the inference is very important. The job of product manager. This data helps you, and this data gives you a roadmap that how you have to go. Knowledge. Product knowledge may product manager से आगे कोई नहीं. He is the reference to that. Some people say no matter the product manager is male or female, they said that product manager is mother of. But it doesn't matter that you are female, but or you can say the parent of that product. Product managers are parents of it. They should know like mother. I guess that why people say that he or she is mother of the product, because mother knows their kids best, even better than her. So that's why your knowledge about product, the diseases in which the product is being prescribed, its strategy, market, and everything, you should be the reference person. Even your knowledge on that particular subject should be more than the subject. Because you should know that what are the indications, what are the diseases where these are being promoted, what are the results, what are its adverse effects, what are the benefits, everything. So product knowledge, medical knowledge related, particularly related to a subject and product, that no one else should know better. Market research, I shared earlier that sometimes you have to go for primary research, sometimes for secondary research data. This market research data not only helps in evaluating these numbers that which product is performing and which product is not performing, which is growing as per market and which is not growing. It's very important to understand. And you know that in QBIA, which was previously called IMS, blue web data or MIP data is also. It tells you about the trends of prescription. That for any particular indication, which product is prescribed more, then which product is usually co-prescribed the primary product. So this helps you target the segment, the doctors who are prescribing that product. Then again, consultants are prescribing, junior doctors are prescribing, or RMOs are prescribing, or family physicians are prescribing. This gives you a very good idea of segmentation targeting. So you can go that which segment I have to target, doctors I have to target. We'll also again discuss this detail in coming sessions. So what strategy is based on? Its segmentation, its targeting, and its position. Segmentation is that which segment of the market you are targeting. Either you're targeting gynecology, you're targeting family physician, you're targeting physicians, or you're targeting which. Then ultimately, according to population, you're targeting consultants, key opinion leaders, you're targeting mid-level, junior doctors, or you are targeting cost officers, you're targeting all of them. With what percentage? If it's geographically, which areas, which are the most. There are in certain cases the geographical segmentation is very important. For example, the products which are prescribed in malaria are like they get more result in areas from Sindh and Jammu Punjab, like Multan and all these areas. In certain cases, certain products are more used in those areas. Then there are certain products which are seasonal, like used in respiratory, more prescribed in areas with cold environment. Then there are certain areas you very well know, where diarrhea is very common. You know that this product applies more in areas where diarrhea. And positioning. Positioning is the most important. Most important. Positioning is how you want your customer to perceive your product. How, like when he or she will think about your product, what should come in his or her mind. So positioning is like your all activities are there to just establish the positioning in the mind of the customer. Like it's being done with jingles in the company. Okay? Most of the time with jingles, and these products are typically get space in your mind. You go to the next. Campaign is part of technical plan. Again, in my previous experience, when people discuss their campaigns with me or their promotional material with me, what happens, like in areas where people are not that much trained, they see a very good picture which is relevant to the campaign, their positioning statement, or which is that picture is relevant to their product's indication. They make a literature based on it. And then they like a clock or a gift, which is very good. Like they add it to the part. Like there is a good gift, then as an individual gift, that item could be very good. There is a poster, there's a calendar, there is a promotional material, there's a literature, and for the campaign. Campaign is not just gathering good ideas, good-looking things and sharing with your customer. It's an organized course of action to promote and sell your product or your service. Like everything should focus towards your product or the positioning statement. For example, you must have noticed that whenever a new product or season of a product comes, whenever you switch on TV, you see its advertisement on the prime time. In the prime time, it's taking again and again, it's being advertised again and again to grab the share of your mind. You see its ad once, twice, or third, 3 or 4 times here during a drama or a current affair program. And then when you get out of your home and you're driving your car, you see the same or part of it on a hoarding. So again, it's recalling you. It's trying to take share of mind. When you go on the supermarket, its flyers are rotating. You see that its flyers are there, its posters are there. Like there are people doing outdoor marketing. They are having standing next to the shelf of that product and helping you buy that, sharing with you its benefits. Everything is focused towards one thing. Highlight that theme in your mind. So likewise in pharmaceutical, when you make a campaign, your material, your poster, your calendar, your presentation, your focus group, everything should be focused on that. Should be targeting the same message, right? So next is forecasting. Forecasting is a very important area for brand managers, for product managers, that initially you have to evaluate the market. You have to see your own marketing muscles, the promotional muscles the company is having, the human resource muscle the company is having, and during first year, how much share you want to grab from that market. And after grabbing that share, what will be the size of your market? What will be the size of your product after 1 year, 2 years, 3 years? And to gain that, how much promotional resources, money you will need, how much human resource support you will need. So this all needs forecasting. And again, forecasting the subject. If without forecasting, like nothing can do. If you not share a good forecast, the production will not. If the forecast is closed, there will be no shortage. For example, if you forecast very high but sell low, ultimately what will happen? The warehouses will be filled with your product and they may get expired. Likewise, if you will be very conservative in sharing the forecast, but your results are better, and what will happen? That your product will be finished from the warehouse before time, and your field force will be complaining about the short. And once a product is short, doctor's faith gets disturbed, and then regaining his faith is not easy. So you have to. There may be a 5 plus minus 5% deviation, but forecasting should be as close as possible to make it. Please go to the next slide. Okay, so what you have to do now is that you have to make a very good CV. You have to start studying about brand management, pharmaceutical product management. What are the new trends in pharmaceutical marketing? What are the new trends? What are the new products which are coming into pharmaceutical? What are the new technologies that pharmaceuticals are adopting? What are biomedicines? What is biotechnology? What is bioengineering? How these are coming into pharmaceutical? And then you have to brush up your skills. Okay. The first thing, you have to be a problem solving. There are usually two types of people in organization. One are who are always there for sharing problems. Why didn't you do this? Because sir, I had to do it at home as I'm doing working from home. But due to electricity issue, and I couldn't get the thing. So due to any problem, why did not you do any expected task on time? Because I was dependent on someone. That person didn't give me data. Did you follow? Was it a responsibility to give it to me? Which means that due to any problem, the thing didn't get done, or they're always blaming others. They're just presenting problems. So this is not a good approach. Most of the time, those people grow faster who are a solution, who always come up with solutions. Their juniors, to their peers, to their seniors, and their own life. It not only isn't like makes your life easy in professional environment, but in your personal life. Okay. Analytical skills are very important because planning is very important part of functions of management. You know that there are 5 functions of management: planning, controlling, organizing, staffing, and leadership. So, good analysis or analyzing is the skill set for having excellent plan. And like some people say that leaders are born. Ultimately, by practicing, by improving your skills, you can be a better leader. And the skill set needed for leadership is interpersonal skills. Because everyone in your team will not get motivated for the same thing. Like some people, they find money as their motivation. Among you, there are some people who get motivated when they are being appreciated. Some people just don't get motivated when they are being appreciated verbally. They get motivated when they are being given a prize, a certificate, something like this. So the people with good interpersonal skills know that how they have to motivate each individual person. So the leadership skills, for leadership skills, you should have better interpersonal skills, and by practice you can improve. Communication is the basic skill. You have to communicate the brand plan to the management. You have to communicate when you are training the team. You have to communicate when you are communicating the strategy and technical plan to the field force. So communication, coordination, and other department and teamwork is very important skill for product manager. Coordination, as I shared earlier, you have to give a very good forecast to the production so they can produce ample amount of stocks for you. You should have good coordination with the distribution so the stocks are being delivered to the areas and the medical stores, to the pharmacies, to the hospitals which you are targeting, and this coordination is very important. And then prioritization, because when you enter into marketing, you see that all the time you'll be having table. Your to-do list always gets filled, and once you like complete 2 3 tasks, and 4 5 more tasks are you have to prioritize which are urgent and which are. Please next. Okay, the skills also include creativity and innovation. What's the difference between creativity and innovation? Creativity is when you bring something new, any idea which is not being practiced in the market before, any campaign which nobody has ever done before. And innovation is that doing the previous thing with some innovation in it, something like, for example, when you make a campaign, there are certain people who execute it the way you have told them. Then there are certain people who bring innovation as per their local situation. Like you have made a campaign or strategy for the whole Pakistan, for the whole country, but in certain areas, its execution made some innovation, may need some changes. So those people with innovation do this in execution. Likewise, if you have joined in a team where the product is already being promoted, it was being promoted by someone, that person had made a good strategy, that strategy is working, so ultimately will not change it to 180 degrees. Because ultimately that strategy or that campaign is bringing brought success for the company. So ultimately, what you will do, you will bring innovation in that campaign, some idea from some of your own ideas, those will be added into the campaign, and ultimately you will see gradually you change it gradually. So campaign, I already explained to you that it's a coordinated effort of all the actions towards your basic positioning. And product knowledge is one of the important skills product that we have already discussed twice. Next slide, please. And then technology savvy, because you see that for data analysis, for secondary data analysis, for IMS data analysis, you should be expert in Excel. So for presentation, you have to be expert in PowerPoint presentation. For communication, you should be good in email writing. Then again, there are different apps which people are nowadays using for the field force, for the product, or for evaluating how things are being executed. You should be good. You should be a technology savvy person. Any command of social media marketing, software utilization. These are very important for data analysis. Yes, I guess that we will be posting this recording on our YouTube channel and maybe on the next slide. Okay, communication skills. Previous slide, please. Communication slide. Go back. You're going forward. Sorry. So communication skills are very important, and most of the time when we say communication, so first feature of that person comes in our mind is that the person is speaking, or the person is like the verbal speaking and non-verbal speaking. This comes into our mind. But the most important part of communication is this. If you're a good listener, then you will be understanding the question. Then you will be easy for you to understand the question and respond in a way. Listening is the first feature of good communication. You're a good listener. And listen doesn't mean that what you're hearing. Like if you're hearing right now, if you just look around, there are several other sounds that may be fan, that may be door of your AC, that may be something outside your room which you are hearing. But probably as you are focusing on the presentation, so you are listening to this. And then again, in this listening, how much you are like absorbing into your mind. So that is listening. So you have to improve your listening. Then you have to talk. You have to be straight talking. Avoid double meaning words. Avoid expectation that people understand from your heads. Try to speak straight and communicate what you want. Then non-verbal communication is very important. Body language should tell that you are very serious about what you are saying or doing. And then stress management is very important. Stress management is important in every field of profession. The reason is that, for example, if you're having the stress is not a disease. until you are having maybe workload, maybe very bad situation at home, maybe to an accident on the way we have seen. But if that stress will dominate us, then ultimately it will affect our communication. Others don't know what happened. Others don't know what happened. They will just take you on your face. This person looks stubborn. This person looks arrogant. This person is gloomy. The person is non-energetic. So whenever you are having stress, try to don't let it dominate. If you are going for a presentation, don't let anyone feel that you are under stress. It is very important in interviews. When you are giving interview, sometimes nervousness and stress is natural, but you have to not let it dominate. And then emotional control, again, like a lot of people say that never promise when you are very happy, never promise when you are very sad. So you don't have to let emotions control. Please go to the next slide. Okay, even those who are experienced product managers, let me ask you a question, and those who are freshers, they can also. Because whenever I ask fresh graduates or graduates, they say that would you like to enter through the route of sales? Like, would you like to join sales and later come into marketing? No, sir, I cannot go in the field. You have to go in the morning to 2 p.m., then you have to go in the evening from 6 to 10 or 11 p.m. Then in certain cases, you have to travel out of town. So I cannot do traveling. I prefer an office job. So remember one thing, that in sales and marketing, no matter you are in marketing, you are a product manager, you are a marketing manager, you are a director, you have to travel. Travel is a complementary part of sales and marketing job. Secondly, what they do is that the sales have pressure on targets. Marketing, it's not true. Maybe it used to be like some people used to think before 20 or 15 years that sales is not the responsibility. Still think. So, what is your opinion? Please raise your hands if you think that sales and results should not be the responsibility of product. Please raise your hands if you think that sales and results should not be the responsibility of product. So, should be great. I'm happy to see that. So, yes, profitability and sales, because all the branding, all the marketing that we are doing, all the campaigns we are running, all the expenses we are making, we are doing it for sale and profit. So product manager or brand manager is responsible by giving more numbers and utilizing less resources. Go to the next slide. So how you react to any situation or the new position is very important, because for success, for learning, for success, you have to leave your comfort zone. Whatever you have been doing, if you keep on doing, then you will keep on getting what you have already got. Means that if your current efforts have not resulted into something, so sorry, I'm trying to. Okay. I have the other hand. Mobile hand. Okay, so like for example, you could have been watching a drama, or you could have been walking in the park right now, but you have spared your time to attend this session because you wanted to learn something, you wanted to brush up your skills, you wanted to see that if this is a session from where I can have help in building my career as brand manager. So beside this, you have to study, learn, ask people, do networking if you want to get success. Then when you get a job, after that, again, it's like getting a job is first step. Being successful in that job, being a successful brand manager, and grow further, that is like what your aim should be. And for that, you have to not go into your comfort zone at any level, at any point. You have to always think that I have to stay out of my comfort zone. Consistent, sustainable success. Go to the next slide. Okay, so this was a brief presentation on what brand management is, because for those who are fresh graduate, maybe they are not having that idea how brand manager work in the professional environment, how he launches the product, how he develops the campaign, and what is the idea behind the campaign. Like these are just folders or literatures having slogans and pictures, और इससे आगे भी कुछ है, like इस campaign की कोई just hold on so I can change my mic. I can okay, can you hear me? Like, is the voice clear now? Is it better now? Okay. So I was sharing with you that just having an idea that how we have to prepare for the product manager interview, or if I'm a new and fresh product manager, how I should establish my brand plan and campaign for my product. What we will do is that we are planning a complete 5-class training session that will be 1 to 1.5 hour class plus question and answers on every Sunday, probably 10:30 to 11:30 or maybe 11 to 12. Then after each class, I will be giving assignments to the participants, and those assignments will be evaluated. We may be discussing top 2-3 assignments, so I can guide that what are the areas. I may not be telling that whom assignment I'm discussing, but the areas of improvement identified from those assignments will be discussed in next class before starting the presentation or before starting the topic of that class. Beside this, I will also do ranking. You know that another thing which we are missing in our society nowadays is that people don't tell us. Sometimes you ask to someone for feedback, and again, if you ask someone for feedback, don't expect a good answer. When we tell someone मैं कैसा लग रहा हूँ, या मैं कैसा बोल रहा हूँ, या मेरा ये आइडिया कैसा है, तो पहली हमारी एक्सपेक्टेशन ये होती है कि बोलेगा वाओ जबरदस्त कमाल कर दिया तुमने, बिकॉज वो हमें अच्छा लगा था और हमने शेयर. Always appreciate those people who criticize your ideas, who criticize your dressing, who criticize your anything. They are your sincere friends. They are helping you improve yourself, instead of those who just conclude the discussion by just saying "Zabardast, ya wah." And then so ultimately, when I will evaluate, I'll be sharing with you your ranking, like on a scale of 1 to 2, where I think you stand and what other thing you should do. As somebody suggested in the chat that I should make a detailed marketing plan task. So ultimately, I couldn't read it completely. So marketing and brand plan. So we will be discussing the brand plan initially. Then you will be making a dummy brand plan, and then again top 2 or top 3 brand plans we'll be discussing in next class, and we'll be discussing how these can be improved or what are the areas these can be improved. As shared here, the top 5 reviews in live class. Those will be brand plans and results of assignments. Please go to the next slide. You can ask questions after a couple of slides. Dirga? Leave that. Go to the next slide. What is that comment? Okay. So then what we will do that we will be sharing that how a resume should be, what should be the ingredients of resume. You can use your own templates, but basic things should roam around those. Again, then after guiding you that how you should make resume, you can share that resume with me, and I can come back with my suggestions on that. We will have a couple of mock interviews again from those people who will submit the assignments. I'll pick some and then I'll do mock interview. It doesn't matter who is in that mock interview with me. The important is what is being discussed. So I'll try to help you with common questions and how you have to answer those common questions. It's not just what we call it, like the kind of books they have, 5-year questions with answers. It's not like that. Like I'm telling you, I'll not catch a fish for you. I'll teach you how to catch a fish. Like for any question, how you have to answer. One thing. The second thing, to answer a question more effectively and efficiently, you should improve your knowledge and you should improve your skill. Because maybe the question asked by one interviewer are different from the other interviewer. So you should be prepared. You should be having qualities to tackle those questions, and instead of just knowing what questions can be asked. Everybody is like people have different questions to get the same knowledge out. Then you are how to build your profile, how should you improve your LinkedIn profile, how to brand yourself on social media, on LinkedIn, on Instagram. When you're professional, everything matters. People may, you may be thinking that people are watching just your LinkedIn profile, but they may be evaluating that what kind of things you like, what kind of a post you do on Facebook. And as I shared with you, that real feedback, I'll do one thing. Secondly, you will definitely see that in even organizations, in professional environment, you will see some people who are negative, and there are some people who are not negative but who try to do or to spread negativity. You have to should maintain distance from them. You should always try to think good for others and don't respond bad against bad. You have to just focus on your personality, and one day, inshallah, you will see that your is it better now? Okay, one day you will see that your personality will become a brand. It's not only limited to these 5 classes or this session. You have to think every day. Every next day, you should be a better person. At the end of every year, you should be a different person. Even when I talk to product managers, like a product manager with 3-year experience, I tell them that if what you were on the first day of the year, you are same on the last day of the year, skillful, with reference to skills and with reference to your expertise, then you have lost 1 year. You should not be the person which you were 1 year back. You should be a better skilled, you should be a better groomed, you should be a more mature person after 1 year. Please go to the next slide. Okay, I will, can you please just click if my email ID comes there? One click. Okay, no. So you people have my WhatsApp number. Most of you are in WhatsApp, so you can inbox me, direct message, or even if I don't mind, if you want to criticize or guide me or give me some suggestion in the group, you can suggest things to me in the group. You can give feedback on in my inbox in direct message. Okay. And you can write me an email. My email ID is there in various posts. So I will appreciate your feedback, and why I take feedback. So I keep on improving my skills of training others. Please go to the next slide. Next slide. Okay. So I guess that next slide was telling us about. Can you please stop sharing the screen? Okay, so I will appreciate your feedback, and let's see. We are starting this 5-class session from April 4, in which we will be discussing all these topics in detail, that how brand plans can be made, what are the ingredients of brand plan, what is forecasting, what is campaigning, what is segmentation, targeting, positioning, and how you should improve like your own personality, your own brand. We'll be discussing all this in those sessions. Now I'm open to questions. If any one of you want to ask a question, you may raise your hand, and then you will unmute his or her mic and listen what they want to say. Anyone has any question, you can raise hand. No raise hand. Okay, so I'm open to the questions again on in the WhatsApp group, and again in like you can inbox me as well. Yes, please unmute mic of gentleman who want to ask a question.
Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Wa alaikum assalam, Mr.
Hamza Manj.
Cannot read your name, can? Yeah, Mr. Hamza.
Sir, I'm an
Yes, Hamza.
undergraduate I'm an undergraduate pharmacist. Being an undergraduate student of pharmacy, my question is, what can I do in my undergraduate degree program, to pursue my career in marketing? Being not in the field, not working practically, what can I learn in these learning years?
That's a very good question, and I'm very happy that you are concerned about your career during your study. It's really, really commendable. See, first thing is that there was a time when all these positions were even arts graduates were acquiring these positions. But now, alhamdulillah, like we have a lot of pharmacists, we have a lot of science graduates, so MSc biochemistry, MSc microbiology, Pharm-D, plus MBA. These are the associates or professionals who usually are being hired as brand managers, or those who are having sales experience and they have done MBA, because ultimately having sales experience they have medical and product knowledge. So by doing MBA, they become a good candidate for becoming a product manager. Fortunately, you are at a level when you are focusing more on studies. So this is a time when you can focus more on, like, you should focus on everything, but you can focus more on like microbiology, which is very important, and it will be very practically utilized when will be a product manager. Then like everything, but anatomy, physiology, microbiology, and biochemistry. These are four subjects which help you a lot with reference to your product knowledge, your medical knowledge, your disease knowledge. The second thing is that you can start reading the marketing articles, marketing books. You can read Principle of Marketing by Flip Kotler. You can write you can read 22 Immutable Laws of Branding. You can read Good to Great. So these are different marketing books which will give you an idea how marketing works and how successful marketeer behave. So once you have completed your MBA, that once you have completed your Pharm-D, then it will be easy for you to get admission and perform better in MBA. Because nowadays, usually when companies receive CVs, so there are a lot of candidates with Pharm-D, but again there are candidates with Pharm-D plus MBA. So those people who have done Pharm-D and also done MBA are preferred, like they get a preference because they have already done MBA or they're enrolled in MBA. So I think that you should pursue, you should think of doing MBA.
Sure, sir.
Anything else?
Ending with the question, sir, what kind of chances of internships do we have during our degree? Because many of the students who want to join a production or any other sector have the chance of internships during their studies, where I see. But being the only student of the class of interest in marketing, I do not see any kind of internship opportunities from marketing students. Why is this so? That was the ending question. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're right. Because once again, the trend is that from like 1 decade or so, like people are getting engaged into production as a management trainee or as an internee. This trend is increasing in marketing. A lot of people come to marketing as for the internship. But again, as you know that sometimes when you are at home, uh, you compromise on what you are wearing. Like sometimes if there's a shirt, there are dresses which we say, "Okay, ghar mein pehnne ke hai, don't wear it when I go out." So production is an area where if any mistake is being made, that can be covered by your senior or someone, and this is within the company. But in marketing, your mistake can lead to communication of mistake to the customer. So people try to be more conscious and they try to hire people minimum from that level of management training. But gradually, internship is also increasing, and the trend of hiring internees in marketing is also increasing. So we should be happy with that. Okay. Thank you very much, girls and boys. I don't want to say ladies and gentlemen because most of you are youngsters. So let's catch you. Let's catch on Sunday for those who are continue with the session, and for those even who do not want to continue with this complete session on Sunday. I will try to keep on arranging such sessions where I can help youngsters understand what professionalism is and how they can come into practical field. and I'm also available on WhatsApp group on my personal WhatsApp number, email ID to help you out. Thank you very much.